According to the National Center for Education Statistics, the average cost of education at public institutions has increased by 534% since 1985, using current dollar value adjustments for inflation. Put differently, in 1985, the average cost of tuition, fees, and room and board for a full year of college was $3,859 in today's dollars. The price of college education has far outpaced inflation and led to a growing student debt crisis, the subject of the yearnings of many in a few recent limited congressional actions. My high school classmate Alex, however, chose to circumvent the debt crisis, taking the hard road to earn his degree and ditch the debt. I'm Nathaniel Bozarth. In today's episode of Wide Ruled, Alex Ochoa. I just want to. I'm fascinated by your story. I'm like, I think it's just so cool that you made it through. That you got a degree and chose to do it in a like work yourself through in a zero debt way. When did you decide you were going to do that?
Yeah, definitely wasn't easy. Definitely, like a lot of that influence came from parents that they were really trying to get me like not to be in debt. So they're very adamant as to going with paying my way through, even if it takes longer. Just going that route because they know how much debt can affect me later on in life and stuff like that. So I think it was pretty much from the get-go. Like I was just starting off my college career and just going part-time and just kind of paying my way there. And then from even with help from parents and all that, they can help me with like whenever I kind of needed a little financial push, and they were able to help me with that. And also like my mom was able to help me also by staying at home and all that. So I was able to save money there from rent and all that. So
nice. So you lived it. So you went to K-State, but you were living at home. Would you have to commute to Manhattan, or were you able to do stuff online?
Oh no, I was living at home whenever I went back from. I went back home like during breaks and holidays and all that.
Gotcha.
So I still had my apartment at K-State, and I was living up there. But whenever I came home, like during holidays, or sometimes I had to even like take like a semester off or a year off to save up some money over here. That way I can continue the next semester and kind of go semester by semester. Pretty much is how it all went. So it's slowly but surely is what.
Yeah. I think several years back I was doing a documentary about the American Dream, and we interviewed this guy who's now kind of a construction magnate who emigrated from Ireland.
Really?
And he had this story about how back in the I want to say like 70s or 80s. I hope he doesn't hear that and then it'd be like way off and me make him way older than he is. But it was definitely like before, like he's several decades older than you and I. You're not about the same age. But he talked about how he like worked himself through college, just working the summers, and it's unfortunate that like the cost of college is so much higher than it used to be. So that's not possible. So I'm like, how many jobs do you have to work? Like, how long did it take you start to finish?
Yeah, during summer, I had a good. I mean, I have a good gig over here at Joe's Casey Barbecue. So I worked all throughout my college career up there at that place. So it was that helped a lot with like summer jobs and keeping that job reserved for breaks and summers and whenever I took a break from school and stuff like that. But during my college career, I worked up there in Panda, and then I did Ubering during the weekends because Lord knows in college towns during weekends is very it's very much needed Ubering up there, and especially with game days and all that. So that's
right.
some of the time that I had to give up in order to keep paying for that, which I feel like sometimes it took away from like the college experience is kind of what I kind of regret a little with
Yeah.
working that much, because I wasn't able to. I was really looking forward to joining marching band. I was looking forward to joining all like during high school. I was involved in so many clubs and all that, so I was looking to keep that leadership drive on over here with K State. But for working purposes, I had to kind of give up those freedoms and kind of keep on working like as much as I could so I can pay for the next semester, and go on from there. So
that's a bummer. Yeah, we were in so I don't know if I mentioned it to the listeners.
Mhm.
We went to high school together,
Yes.
at Olathe North High School. We were in student government together, right?
Stuco, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Stuco. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We didn't call it student government, student council.
Student council, yes.
Yeah. I didn't know that you did. Did you? I assume you did marching band in high school too.
Yeah, I did it for 1 year, my senior year, because I didn't know that I could have joined earlier on. So,
Yeah. What'd you play?
but I'm glad I did at least for 1 year and kind of got that dream out of the way. So,
Yeah. What'd you play?
the drums, I played snare drum, so
Oh,
on the
nice.
drum line, and that was a dream come true. You have no idea.
That's
But,
yeah. I think the drum lines are my favorite to like watch and listen to in marching bands.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the
So
coolest part of the band.
yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, how many? So you that's cool that with Joe's KC, some of the best barbecue in the world.
Mhm.
You were able to. It sounds like they were supportive or cooperative because they were able to sort of hold your job even though you would be away.
Oh yeah, for
Sometimes.
sure. They held that position down for me whenever I came back. I just kind of gave them a call, and they were very, very flexible with my schedules and stuff like that. Even when for like breaks, whenever I just came home for a few days, I can just hit them up and they'll squeeze me into schedule there. So it was a very, very great supportive employer. So
Yeah. What about like the so it took you how many years from start to finish?
yeah, with breaks and everything, about it took me 10 years for a
10
4 year
years.
degree. Yeah,
Did
but yeah.
go ahead.
No, yeah, it took me 10 years, and but I mean, I feel like I took advantage of that time, and I traveled a little, and I spent time with friends, and I did the best out of that time, and I really wasn't in a rush to finish school right out the bat, so I was kind of taking my time and kind of just cruising along and
Do you
doing
feel
what I
like you
could.
got more out of like the academic piece, like out of the classes, like doing it at that pace, or even with like the life maturity that you like? Because by the time you
Mhm,
finish, some of your peers might have been several years younger than you. Like, did
mhm.
you feel that like maturity difference that like you're a
Um,
grown man and you're next to people who are
yeah.
still like like
No, well, most of my classes, there were actually like a lot of people who were older than me even.
oh
So,
wow.
yeah, there was a lot of people already with kids and with families who were just attending like some classes just for um, their own growth or stuff like that. So it was still, I didn't feel that much of a age difference or age gap, but yeah, when we're working with groups and I'm working with like an 18-year-old and I'm over here almost like 30 over here. So yeah, you definitely feel that then, but no, it was fine. I think it was manageable.
Cool. What advice would you like? Do you think more people should do college that way?
Um, well, I mean, for me personally, I couldn't take out many loans or scholarships because I was well. First of all, for loans, I couldn't apply for any loans, so I was kind of forced to take this path, this slow but surely path, because I'm a DACA recipient
Hmm.
and or a candidate. I don't know how do you want to call it, but so and for those listeners who don't know, DACA is like deferred action for childhood arrivals. So it gives me a residency and a social temporarily. I had to be renewing it every 2 years.
Which is
So
expensive, isn't it?
yeah, it's about $500 every time. So yeah, So it's a bit of a
That's
catch. But
yeah.
so because of that, I wasn't able to get any loans or any grants or stuff like that. So I was kind of forced to take this path. I was still trying to take out loans, but for me not being a permanent resident, the rates will be like way much higher, and so
Mm,
that's why my parents kept encouraging me
wow.
for me uh, to keep on going without any loans and stuff like that, so that way it doesn't affect me on the long run. And
So
even
you
though if
said
it
that
takes longer, it'll be the better on the long run, and I don't regret it at all. Like I think I was pretty stubborn. I was like, well, I just want to take these loans so I can just get this year out of the way, and then it'll be easier. And but she's like, no, just trust me.
oh
You'll
man.
you'll thank me later, and I definitely do. So now that I'm finished with all that, I don't have loans weighing me down and all that. So it's a very good path. So
Yeah, yeah, that's I'm still waiting on that feeling at some point.
yeah,
But that's crazy that I didn't know that um the 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 interest rate would be higher. That like so you could get loans, you couldn't so you wouldn't
yeah,
be because you're not a permanent resident, you wouldn't be eligible for the for
uh,
grants and
yeah,
scholarships and things, which sucks and I think
yeah.
is unjust.
Mm.
Um, but you're but the interest rates are higher. Like I don't even know what the rationale is for that.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure, but in order to, because I did look into it. Well, it was a while back, like maybe a few years. I don't know if it's changed now. But yeah, by the time I was looking into it, the you had to get what is it called, a cosigner that will be willing to cosign
Wow.
thousands of dollars with you, and that's kind of hard to find even nowadays.
Right.
So yeah, it was. I'm glad I didn't take that route, or didn't like force it. So it worked out in the end. So it's all
Yeah.
good.
And you're also the first in your family to get a college degree, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. First one in my family, and we're very proud of that. And I'm very happy that I was able to give that to my parents, because that's like one of the big milestones that they brought me here for, is for like a better future for me. And so I was glad to be able to show that, to gratify them with that end
Yeah.
result, I guess.
Yeah. And what's your degree in?
Communication studies.
Cool.
So yeah, it's a pretty broad degree, similar to PR and marketing and anything to do um, with communication and leadership and stuff like that. So
Nice. So what's next? Is there do you have like a next mountain to climb?
um, yeah, I'm looking. Well, right now, I was looking for like another jumping in, making that leap into the corporate world. But since I've been working so long at at Joe's Casey Barbecue, they promoted me to supervisor, which is something I could still use my leadership skills that I've learned within my degree and stuff. So I took that route, and I took that opportunity, and I'm currently up there at Joe's and supervising now. And then we'll see in a few years later with that degree, like see what I can do with it, and go
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah. That's awesome. Nice. What do you like just I mean just thinking about like the cost of tuition, like
Mhm.
I guess do you spend time thinking about like, man, if circumstances were different, I would have been able to pay for this quicker, or I mean, do you ever just think about like how the cost of tuition has changed so much since decades before us?
Mhm. Um, yeah, while I was in college, yeah, I went through some pretty hard times with financially, that I was struggling to enroll in the next semester, and I couldn't enroll until I paid that previous semester, and it was
Mm,
kind of yeah, it was kind of a pain, but we managed, like with my family, with the support of my family, and working long hours I had to be working, and even Ubering like late hours. We're able to make it, but I mean, it's something you just had to pull through. I mean, I was already halfway, like more than halfway with my college career, so I couldn't give up then. I
Mm.
couldn't be like, well, this is too much already, and so I had too much under my belt. So I was like, you know what, we just gotta push, and even if it takes longer, we just gotta get through it. So
Yeah, I feel like I'm just like, it feels like your financial like discipline and even just your like general financial literacy would be so much
Mhm.
like better than mine. Like you've practiced that all through college, and I'm thinking of like again like my unfortunate levels of debt. Um, it's I think for me born of a uh, I had the option to I did get some scholarships, but then I
Mhm.
still took out loans, and it was something done so flippantly and like unquestioningly
Yeah.
that I didn't have any uh, preparation or like forethought into that. But it feels like with you, like you've been forced to like face your finances head on in ways that I haven't, and then
Mhm.
I see
Mhm.
like, man, like you've
Mhm.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I mean,
I
there is a
admire that.
yeah, there. I mean, there is also like that constant like social pressure of like, well, this is what everybody does. This is what
Mm.
everybody because there's that mentality also up there. Like, because I've heard it from like people talking in college and all that. Well, this is what everybody's gonna end up in debt, and this is what everybody goes through, and kind of still sticking to that cliche of this is what you have to go in order to this is what you have to do in order to go through college. And but I mean, which is whatever. So
Yeah. This is kind of a big life question, but I'm curious, like,
Mhm.
if you're planning to have kids someday, like,
Yes.
would you, like, do you think you would recommend um, that they get loans, or that they go your route? Like, what do you, I guess, what's your hope for them? Like, what's your hope for them?
Well, definitely. My end goal is to start saving up to be able to help them at least financially, like as they're growing up, like have start some kind of a savings account that they can have that beginning push through whatever if they end up going through college to have that beginning push so that they're not able so that they don't struggle as much as I did, I guess.
Mm.
And yeah, encouraging not to take the student loans or as many student loans as some, but yeah, I think that help them as much as I can and steer them away from the student loans, but
Maybe
as much
the
as I
system
can.
will have changed by that time. Like maybe we can have hope that by the
Yeah,
time you have kids in their college age, that like the tuition will be evened out or something. It won't be so bad.
yeah. Who knows what it'll look like by then, but
Yeah.
hopefully things better out with them. So
So with the DACA program, and I didn't even like, it didn't even cross my mind that like when I had so I mean, what spurred me to reach out to you was a Facebook post that you gave uh about your kind of journey to college completion, or to graduation, and it didn't
mhm.
even cross my mind that like that being a DACA recipient was part of the reason that you were sort of forced into that. Do
Yeah.
you I mean, what do you, what's your hope for the future of the DACA program, or like I've heard like pathway to citizenship, or like or yeah, what do you hope for in that area?
Yeah, I mean, there's currently right now there's not a path to citizenship with the DACA program, so that's why you have to renew it every 2 years. And in order to stay enrolled in order to be enrolled in a university and all that, you have to sign a affidavit saying that you have intentions to apply to citizenship as soon as there is a path to citizenship, if that makes sense. So that's one
Wow.
of the caveats that you have to sign in order for the DACA program to let you, I guess, go to university even without a social.
Do you know why that is? Like, I don't understand why that's a why. Why?
Um, well, because one of the in order to apply for the DACA program is one of the reasons in order to apply for the DACA program is that you had to stay in school, and then you had to keep on like uh, keep making progress, I guess, with school and all that. So that's kind of one of the requirements in order to apply for the program is that. So
So now that you've graduated, you still have to keep renewing every couple of years as long
yeah,
as
I'm
it
actually
exists.
due to renew this year, and so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, they don't. I mean, I can't say anything that because I'm graduated already, so
Right.
I'm gonna
What
keep
are they
on
gonna do? Yeah.
keep on going. That's as far as I'll go. So.
I just remember the first time someone told me how much it cost, and that
hmm
like that sucks. Like every two, like it's just an extra. It feels like it's an extra unnecessary cost. Like, what is that money going towards? Like, is it an administration cost? Like
Yeah,
who's? What, I'd rather it just come out of my income tax or like something like that.
yeah, but yeah, it's definitely a pain every 2 years and trying to. Is also like sometimes they're backed up with renewals, and so there's this stress on like you're gonna having a gap between because everything expires on your expiring date, like your social, your driver's license,
Wow.
your work permit, it all expires on that date. So if you don't get it by that, if you don't get your renewal by that date, there's kind of this stress on gaps between that because you're not able to work, you're not able to drive, or you shouldn't be driving or stuff like that. So between gaps, so it's definitely a little stressful, but as long as you get it in by with enough time, with a few months in advance, so you'll be good. So.
Man. When did you come to the United States and where I don't know what country
Yeah,
you came from.
I was brought here at the age of 6, I think, 5 or 6, by my parents. And so we came here to Kansas, and we lived like in KCK, within KCK and like Johnson County areas. And we went back maybe on like for 2 years, like later on when I was like 11 or 12.
And where
Then,
where were you born?
yeah, from Chihuahua.
Chihuahua. Cool.
Yeah, Chihuahua, Mexico. Yeah, that's where I'm
Cool.
from. And then yeah, we came back and haven't gone since. So.
Dang. Is it for you is it difficult to go and come back with that DACA status?
Well, I haven't. The DACA status started for me when, like, a little after high school, a few years after high school.
Gotcha.
So I started. That's when the DACA program was available for us. And so
Gotcha.
with the DACA program, you're not even allowed to even leave the country without some special permission. There has to be some kind of emergency for you to leave the country. Even.
That
So you
stinks.
can't leave and come back even with the DACA. So, but.
Dang. So when
Mhm.
you said getting to do like travel during like throughout your kind of your college career, it's been local or
Oh
not
yeah,
local, but
local,
like
local.
stateside.
Yeah, yeah. I wish I could travel overseas now, but yeah, I'm still stuck locally, so making the
Well,
best of it.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I certainly hope and will vote for any change to that program to
Mhm.
so that I don't know, yeah, so that it's not a limitation like it is.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
gotta make the best of it. So.
yeah. I'm curious, like, is there any advice that you would have towards like high schoolers trying to decide what to do with college or, who are about to graduate, thinking about their next step? What advice or thoughts would you give them based on your experience?
hmm Based on my experience, I would say that you can. It's still there's gonna be a lot of roadblocks in the way, but it's just up to you to see how you can maneuver and squeeze in through all that. So it's definitely a challenge, and I mean, the college is not. I wouldn't say college is for everybody necessarily. There, like you can do a lot of stuff with like technical schools and stuff like that. So it's definitely um, a big commitment to take on, especially financially. So you gotta be set on your mind um, to go through it and finish off and kind of have your goals lined up and straighten up so that you can get through it and find um, motivation to keep looking for solutions for those roadblocks in a way. So.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. It's great to see you and great to chat. And
Oh yeah,
congrats, man.
it's good. Thank you, thank you. It's good catching up with you. Good hearing from you.
I reached out to Alex to be on the show because I knew that he had graduated college without debt, and I wanted to hear about that journey. It didn't even cross my flippin' mind that his decision to earn his degree the long way around wasn't one at least partially circumscribed by government policies. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly it means that it didn't cross my mind. I mean, if nothing else, it's got to be a reference to my privilege, to the assumption that everyone makes every decision beholden of all the same options available to me. But that simply isn't the case in this country. It isn't the case that everyone has the same opportunity and options available to them, regardless of immigration status or race, and that's never been the case. I have no doubt that Alex could have and would have earned a variety of scholarships had he been allowed to. Alex has always been excellent at everything he put his hand to and checked all the boxes that I was told would lead to scholarships. He had excellent academics, meaningful involvement in clubs and extracurriculars, and a record of service and philanthropy. Ultimately, I hope that there can be a path to citizenship for Alex and others like him. I hope that we can create policies that don't shut out childhood arrivals from financial aid and other benefits. I hope we can remove financial barriers to continuing residency, like the $500 biannual renewal fee. Thank you so much for listening to this third episode of Wide Ruled Season 2. If you like the show, please share it with a friend. For instance, if you and a friend happen to be casually discussing how much you wish you would have been like Alex and graduated without debt, maybe mention this episode to them and share the link through Spotify. You can support the show financially through Patreon at patreon.com/wideruledpodcast. You can pledge as little as $1 an episode. If you want to affirm or push back on something in this episode, or if you have an idea for a future episode, email me at wideruledpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks all.